All right, what's up, guys? I'm back. It's been a while since I posted, but I'm here. Anyway, I wanted to share something with you that I just came across recently after rereading a book that I've had for years. The book is called Smart Talk, and I picked this book up in the early 2000s, maybe like 2009 or 2010. And this book has been vital. It's been crucial for me because it's helped me achieve some major goals in life, especially my gym, fitness goals, relationship goals, across the board. This book has helped me in so many ways, and I was blessed of given this book by one of my early mentors when I was a personal trainer at New York Sports Club. And I'm rereading it. I just picked it back up and I'm rereading, and again, no matter how many times you read a book, you're always gonna find that aha moment depending on what's going on in your life. And right now I'm reading a principle that the author talks about. The author of this book is named Lou Tice. And I'm rereading this concept about scotomas. Scotomas are blind spots, mental blind spots that we have in our life that can hold us back from our dreams, our goals, success, tasks, missions. And he has this exercise, and I'm going to share this exercise with you because I think it's a really important exercise because it wakes your mind up to, again, where you might be blind to cues and instances that can move you forward. Because if you're blind, what happens? You're feeling, you feel like you're in the dark. And this can apply to training, fighting, career, relationships, pretty much in all aspects of your life. Anyway, let's get to the exercise. I'm going to show you a sentence, and I want you to read this sentence. The focus of footwork for boxers to prepare for the ring is a key part of training. Pretty straightforward, obvious, simple sentence. Okay, I'm going to show it to you again. But this time, instead of reading it, I want you to count the F's, the letter F's in the sentence. I'm going to hold it up for 10 seconds. Okay, so how many did you count? How many of you got 4 F's? That was pretty easy, right? How many of you got counted more than 4 F's? Yeah, some of you might, maybe some of you that counted less than 4 might be like, what's this guy talking about? So if you counted 4, great. If you counted more than 4, and if you counted less, that's okay too. If you counted less, you have some scotomas. The scotoma in this sentence, or the scotoma for you, the blindness, is that there are 2 ofs. Focus of footwork and part of training. So how come you didn't count those 2 F's? Right? Because there are a total of 6. If you counted 4, great. But if you didn't, you missed those 2 F's in the word of. Now, why do you think you missed them? So the way it's explained in the book and the way I want to explain it to you is we learned how to read phonetically, meaning we sounded out our words. Focus, one F. Footwork, another F. For, another F. And another for. And the way we pronounce of, we sound it out as of. And it sounds like an OV, not an F. So our conditioning, the way we were taught, has caused a blindness to that letter F. Does that make sense? So you didn't see those two F's because of our conditioning. So ask yourself, where in your life are you missing out on the F's? So an example of a scotoma, or how scotomas blinded me in my life. Back when I was a kid, I've shared my story many times. When I was 15 years old, I started to self-destruct. By 21 years old, I was at rock bottom. I had got into a street fight, and it was a life or death situation. Luckily, I made it out of that fight. But what led me to that moment were blindnesses, scotomas in my world because of my conditioning. I didn't see answers to solve the challenges that I had in front of me because of the dysfunction I had going on at home, my lack of engagement in school and wanting to just even finish high school. My conditioning was I didn't see a lot of positive influences around me growing up. And not to place blame on anybody, but yeah, that was just the case. The environment, my community, the people I had around me, we were all in the same bucket, so to speak, and we were all trying to find a way out. So when you're surrounded by people that don't have the information, right? Most likely you're not going to have that information unless you're really looking for it. And again, because of my conditioning, I thought I was just a product of my environment, that I was just going to wind up just like what I saw around me. People that unfortunately were lost and confused as well. And I'm talking about even my own family, right? My parents are immigrants from the Philippines, and they came from very humble beginnings, and unfortunately they didn't have the information to better themselves. I mean, they did the best that they can with what they had, but they couldn't bring us out of our scarcity and poverty mindset. And that happens to a lot of people. So that blindness caused me to spiral and, again, self-destruct. And it led me to a moment where I had to really question everything. And once that moment took place in my life, it really caused me to dig deep inside and answer my own questions, find what is another way, because the answers are out there. I didn't know it at the time, but the answers were out there, but I was just so blind to it because of what was going on in my world and the way I chose to live my life. I kept living